Hi, I'm Carol.
Hi, my name's Bob Stedman.
Okay. For my 9-month post-treatment, they call it no evidence of disease, so it's all very good.
So we've got it out as a solid, so it hasn't spread, and
Contained.
We've taken out lymph nodes and everything else, and nothing else. There was no other signs of evidence of disease anywhere else, so it was all good. Previous years, I was curling on Thursday evenings, which was a conflict, and I had curled for 30-some years out of the Oakville Curling Club. We were looking forward to doing something together. We both, I think before kids, we had tried ballroom dancing one other time. So we enjoyed it. We enjoyed doing things together. We enjoyed being together. And in some ways, COVID helped out that I made the conscious decision I was not going to curl.
I wanted to do something. I had to do an activity, and I wanted to try and get out. We needed to find an outlet where we're not looking at each other and worrying about each other. I worried about him as a caregiver, and he's looking at me physically and seeing, and he saw my pain. I didn't see the pain. He saw the pain, and so I wanted to find an outlet where we could do something that had nothing to do with cancer. As long as we knew that you and Robert could handle a couple that may not quite feel good at 8 o'clock at night, and that then we're doing it to be together, to do exercise, and to laugh, because we like to laugh and giggle. So it was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So we're really glad that we did do the ballroom dancing.
Well, the 8 weeks was actually very interesting because going into it, I mean, we realized we're not old, but we're getting older than what we once were. And we don't have a lot of physical activity. Carol's still recuperating from things. That first class was unbelievable.
We had no idea holding your arms up for an hour would be so hard.
That first class, the first thing Robert says, okay, hold your arms here. I said, what? I said, he's going to get going. I'm still holding my arms. What's going on?
There's a reason we wore masks, and you thought it was COVID. So we could only say to each other, and you couldn't see our lips. Are your arms tired? Yes, mine's really sore.
Yeah. Is the air going to get going? I'm sorry.
We had so much fun. But you see how we're laughing about that. But I came in the car and said, my legs hurt in a good way. They really hurt in a good way. I said, this is what I need. It's my legs that have been affected. We're not sure why. Well, chemo, but we're not sure whether it's bone or muscle. It doesn't matter what. But it was so good, and we were so looking forward to going back the second week. And we went back the second week. And about the third or fourth week, I was very tired one day, and I said, we got dance tonight. Yeah, we got dance.
It's one of those, it's like, oh, we got to go out tonight. It's dark. It's cold. But then we realized, it's dance. We want to go. So. And
when we came out, right. We're so glad we came. Right. I'm so glad we signed up. It was only that one time. And after that, the 5th, 6th, 7th, we... it
went fast, yeah.
Yeah, went very fast. It was excellent for my legs. It was something that's easy on my body. And it's, yes, in some of those fast dances, if you really wanted to, you could do it. But you could also do it at the level I did it at. And it was so good for my legs. I'm just moving them, and yet I'm not feeling them moving because I'm concentrating on something else. And we like the music too, as you knew. Yeah.
It was also great, I mean, just the two of you in terms of the work that you put into it and how good you make people feel, because that's important. Anytime you go to do something, if you're not feeling good about it, you don't want to come back. I mean, that's why we wanted to come back, because it's always a positive atmosphere, and we felt good about it, and we were getting something out of it, and making that progress.
And it was so COVID friendly. So COVID friendly, which was a very concern to me. You know, you're looking at August. August, things were good, and it was getting better. And then I don't know whether it's because school started, but COVID started, numbers started to rise, and I was scared. We're over 60. I'm maybe compromised. I don't think I am anymore, but hey, I did go through things. And we also have a son that has a physical disability with muscles, so at home. So we're very cautious about COVID, but the facility, the open house showed us that it was, and every week thereafter we wore our masks. You wore your masks. Plenty of space. A huge ballroom with just a couple of couples, and so we enjoyed that. Yeah,
Yeah, we were impressed with the open
yeah,
house.
Yeah.
How has the dancing helped us as a couple? That's an interesting question. We've always approached ourselves as a team. We're doing things together. We're supporting each other. So I think what it's done is reinforced it, but I think it's brought some joy and social activity back into us. Living the last year, going through therapy, treatments, follow-up, phone calls, emails, all related to the cancer situation. I think it was just nice to not have to think about anything, just go and let your mind flow and listen to the music and do something together that has not related to anything that you've been through for the last year. So I think it was great from that perspective, just to be take us on a different path and something that we enjoyed doing together.
Took away the fear. I'm always fearful. I didn't realize that is another something that happens to people when they have cancer. I guess it's too fresh that you're 9 months. For me, it's 9 months, and you know it's coming up, and you go, could it come back? Could it come back? So for a whole hour, I'm not even thinking that, and neither are you. And so we're just having fun. We're having fun. And with COVID, we're missing out on the socialization part that dance could bring. But I'm hoping that when COVID's over, that the socialization part would be there. But it did bring joy to us again. And I think we'd lost a bit of that. So it brought some joy to us again, and laughter and exercise together. I don't know. I don't know where my positiveness comes from. I guess my upbringing, it's whatever happens, you just carry on. You do it with a smile and you carry on. And if you need help, you get help and you just do it. There's no sense to be unhappy or grumbling. You can't be a victim. You have to have a good attitude. I guess I just was raised with a good attitude, and it makes it easier to get through. But I got to be honest, I may come across that way, but there would be days where I could be alone in a bathroom crying because I didn't want this. This isn't a journey I chose, and I didn't want it. I didn't want to go to Princess Margaret. I didn't want to have surgery. I didn't want chemo. And I didn't want to go back again after I had such complications from chemo. But you dig down, and I did it for my husband, and I did it for my boys, and I did it because I want to keep living. And if that's what it's going to take, then I can do it. My sons offered me the greatest advice, and it's personal to me. I can't really share it. But the last session of chemo, Bob had volunteered 6 months prior to coach a para hockey team in the Ontario Winter Games, if I've got that correct. And it happened to be the last day of my chemo. He was prepared to not go and be with me, and yet I said, no, another team of people with disabilities are counting on you, and if you give up, there's no one else that's volunteered. And so my oldest son, took me to chemo. And as we're turning the corner to go into the hospital, I looked at him and said, okay, you know, you might see Mom get a little emotional now because I know what's going to happen. My chemo was, I could be there at 8:30 in the morning and I would leave at 3:30 to 4. It was about 6-7 hours. Very long. Many times they seem to be shorter, but I was all day. And so it just got emotional to me, and he said a story to me about him. He was a very high performing athlete. He was a swimmer, and he just told me a story about him and what his coach had told him one day, and he passed the story on to me. And I looked at my son and went, when did he become so wise? And he's helping his mom, and I said, if you could do it, then I can. And as well, my other one, 7 years ago, had major surgery and been in a hospital for 4 months. And he was in great pain. And we stayed, either myself or Bob, we were with him 24/7 the whole 4 months. And I was the one that saw him in pain. So I knew what Bob was feeling when he would see me through mine. And I think it's worse being a caregiver, since I've been on both sides of the fence. And I saw that at 15, if he could go through major surgery on his legs and learn to walk and go through his pain, and the whole time he smiled and he never complained, then I knew I could do it. So I had some good role models, and it just gets you through it. I'm very open. I have a friend who's a photographer, and he came and took pictures when I was going through chemo. I can look at them now and I can't believe that was me. I don't remember it many times because they give you a lot of, it's like Benadryl and steroids, and you end up falling asleep a bit. But I'm in a support group, and they always say, someone new, what can you tell us? Everyone's journey is different. It's okay to be scared. Everyone is scared. But you do it day by day. And if day by day is too much, you take hour by hour. And find a support group, whether it's family, good friends. We had phenomenal friends. We haven't mentioned that either. We had phenomenal friends that would come and visit, bring meals, just gifts, a prayer shot. Like, it's amazing. And I was very humbled. This will make me tear. I had no idea the friendships I had. And that humbled me. So it's scary, and just take it day by day. What advice would I give my younger self? I think it's marvelous. Dancing's life. It is. It is life. You can have a slow dance. You can have a fast dance, a long dance, or short dance.
Well, I mean, his mum, her outlet when she was going through was dancing, because it was the escape, right?
That's what it is. I should have used the word as escape.
Just going to,
well, you kind of
not having to think about.
No, do you see me with the music? I just would go to the music.
About what did we get out of those 8 weeks?
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I didn't think about at the time was the fact that when you make a mistake, because people who do that on a daily basis make mistakes, but when you make a mistake, you can get it right the next time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think from a couple perspective, sometimes we get a bit angry or a bit, a bit frustrated. That's a good word, frustrated. And so, it just gives you a bit more patience or understanding to say, well, okay, we'll get over it and it'll be better next time. So I think that's just from a life experience, that was something that we got out of that as well.
We loved it. Like, seriously, we loved every... Mm-hmm. And we go, is it Thursday already? Oh my gosh.
It's true.
We were curious. I wonder what they think of us. Seriously, we did. Look at us. We're the old couple. And she says, swing her hips. I thought I was. We had fun.
Yeah.
But we did. We would often go, oh my gosh, what do they think of us?
We actually thought great things of you, because you were
Well, I was always telling him what he was doing wrong.
Like that.
But I referenced earlier about the first class complaining about holding my arms up.
You should
But
have heard
then,
us in the car.
but then by the end, I was like, I'm holding my arms up, waiting for you guys to get going. I'm like, well, let's get going. I go,
You would say we're going to do it separate. Oh, okay. Put the arms down, Bob.
And we're actually looking forward to getting out of COVID so that we can explore that. But even within COVID, we are looking to explore and get into other sessions. Some of those dances that we did, we thought, boy, wouldn't it be nice to spend more time on, as you do and get on the courses, you spend more time on one dance to, we could only dream to get as good as you two, but just to be able to explore it a bit more, and because we enjoyed everything that we did, so being able to enjoy it a bit more, we just think it would be a lot of fun.
I'd like to recruit a friend, another couple.
All of a sudden, his voice scream comes through.
I'm sitting on a pillow.
I can move this actually back a little bit now. Yeah, so Ian, did you know your parents were going to take dancing?
I somewhat knew, but I also didn't know at the same time because they were talking individually to each other. I came in maybe a few weeks after hearing about what they're thinking of registering for, and I said, do what you want. I'll be here with the dog who's constantly outside. But they just enjoyed it because, like I said, they're a team. They're going to do stuff together. I will gladly support it because teamwork is what my father and I do with sports.
Wow.
So I know what it is, and I trust what they're going to do. So
That's awesome. Do you ever see them practice at home?
no.
You don't see us dancing in the kitchen.
No, you're just dancing because she's got music on in the kitchen most of the time when she's making breakfast or just making lunch. And I turn around and I'm like, what are you doing?
It's a special moment there.
Moving in the music.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
No, but then the dog comes in, starts barking, and she's like,
The movie.
We're